Do you want flexible, resilient hips like this? Well, if so, I'm gonna show you my daily routine that I use to get really flexible hips. Hey there, my name's Coach Tyler with WeShape, where our goal is to help you learn how to move your body better so that you feel better in your body. And today I wanna show you my personal stretching routine that I use to loosen up my hips. Now, in the beginning of the video, I showed you how flexible you can get if you follow along to a routine like this, but you don't have to think about getting there super fast. So I'm gonna show you beginner variations of movements that will help you slowly gain flexibility over time. The most important part is that you're consistent. So instead of doing an hour of yoga or an hour of stretching 2 or 3 days a week with a bunch of random movements, if you have tight hips, use these 2 movements every single day for a few weeks and watch how much of a difference it makes on your hip flexibility. All right, let's get started. Okay, the first movement is called the hip ham stretch. So we're gonna go back and forth, stretching the hip flexor, which goes all the way across the front of the thigh and the front of the hip, and then the hamstring, which comes from the back of the knee all the way into the back of the glute. So what you're gonna do is start in a 90-90 position. So this back leg right here is in a 90-degree angle. This front leg is in a 90-degree angle. It's really important that when we're kneeling on our knee right here, we don't kneel on something that causes pain. So if you need to, put a pad, a pillow, a rolled up towel, anything you need to make your back knee feel comfortable. Now from there, we're gonna try to keep our hips facing straight forward the entire time. If we open up our hips too much, it's gonna remove the stretch from the hip flexor and put it on all of the muscles of the hip on the front of the hip instead. So what we're gonna do here is this. We're gonna come forward, keeping the hips facing straight forward and trying to create as much length from the knee all the way through the front of the hip, all the way into the core as possible. Another element here that's helpful is if we arch our backs like this, we'll get deeper, or we'll think we're getting deeper, but we'll be removing the pressure from the hip flexor. So before we even drop in, it's good to squeeze your glute muscles and drop in while maintaining a little bit of your glute muscle being squeezed. That's gonna help you target the hip flexor for this stretch. You can hold for a few seconds, and then you're going to push into this front heel, and you're going to straighten this front leg. If you need to move your foot up or back, that's totally fine as well. And you're going to bring your toes towards your nose, hinge forward from the hips, and imagine trying to bring your belly button towards your thigh. Now, for a lot of people, this might be too much range of motion, so it's totally fine just to be up here, toes to nose, and that's as far as you go. If you can, reach your hands toward the ground, try to bring your hands to the ground, try to bring your belly button towards your thigh, and try to keep aiming for bringing your head as close to your toes as humanly possible. Again, hold for a few seconds, and then come back and go back and forth between these 2 positions about 10 times. So this position, hold for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, try to create length from the knee all the way through the front of the hip into the core, press into the heel, lift the toes to the nose, hinge forward from the hips, work the belly button towards the thigh, and try to bring your body down as much as possible. Again, holding for 3 to 5 seconds. So again, what you need to do is alternate back and forth about 10 times on the left, then pause, feel how much different your hamstring on this side and your hip flexor on this side feel. They should feel amazing. Now, go ahead and go to the other side and do 10 repetitions on the other side. Now, once you've finished both sides for 10 full repetitions, which should take you anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes, then move on to the next stretch. Okay, the next stretch is a straddle stretch, and I'm gonna show you a few different movements to do while you're in this position. Before we do those though, what's important is as you start, bring your legs to the outside, and ideally bring your toes towards your nose again. This is gonna help stretch the calves, the groin, and the hamstrings while you do these various stretches that I'm about to show you. Now, if this is too difficult for you already and you feel like you might even be falling backwards, what you can simply do is sit on a surface. It could be a few pillows, it could be a chair that's very low to the ground, but we're gonna be in the same position as we are here. If that's you and you have to sit on some pillows, or if you have to sit on a low chair, then over time, the goal should be to lower the surface that you're sitting on while you do this stretch series. Now, once you've found the right height for you, or you're comfortable sitting on the floor like this, follow along. So it starts like this. First, you're gonna try to come all the way up on your sit bones. So what that means is, instead of leaning backwards like this, where you're on the backs kind of more towards your tailbone, you're going to try and come all the way up on the sit bones, lengthening the hamstrings so that your spine is nice and flat. Now from there, what I want you to do is bring your belly button towards the ground and bring your hands out in front of you. And here we're gonna take a couple deep breaths. Big breath in, and as we exhale, use your hands on the ground to pull you a little bit more forward. Again, big breath in, And then we're gonna pull our body a little more forward. And then one more time, so 3 breaths. Pull your body a little bit more forward. Now slowly walk your hands back up, reset your position, and turn your body towards one leg. You're gonna do the same thing. Big breath in, and then bring your belly button towards your thigh and put your hands on the ground. Big breath in, and we're gonna pull the hands to pull the body forward like this. Now in the side position, it's okay to round and stretch the back a little bit as we do this movement. Another breath, and then pull your hands down. Now your goal on this side position is to eventually be able to bring your chest, your belly, and your head fully flat down onto your leg like that, okay? Don't worry if that's not right now. It can take a lot of time to get there. Keep practicing this consistently and you will get there. Now move to the other side, do the same thing. Tall posture, big breath in. Put your hands down, big breath in, and pull your body down on the exhale. And last time, big breath in, and pull your body down just a little bit deeper, okay? Now that is the series we're gonna practice. Now we're not just gonna do that one time though, we're gonna follow through that 3 whole times. So you're gonna come back to the middle, you're gonna do 3 breaths trying to go a little bit deeper on this round. Then you're gonna come to this side and repeat the process. 3 breaths a little bit deeper on this round, and then you're gonna come back over to this side and do 3 breaths just a little bit deeper on this round. Now, if you get to the place where you're able to bring your head down to your leg on the sides, then I want you to switch from bringing your whole body down to trying to bring the side of your body down. So I'll show you that variation right now. So the first one would be bringing the body down in front of you, ideally trying to get your face all the way down to the ground, and then bringing your body to the side. So it looks like this. My left hand is gonna cross over my body to my right leg, and I'm gonna drop my left shoulder towards my right knee. Now I'm gonna reach with my right hand and grab my left toes, and every time I take a big breath in, I'm going to pull myself a little bit deeper and pull my toes towards my head to stretch that calf. You're gonna do the same 3 breaths like that, switch sides, come over, and do the same 3 breaths like that. Now again, I know this is an advanced stretch, but I wanted to show you my actual stretching routine that I do in the straddle position that allows me to have flexible hips that feel amazing. So come back to this stretch often, every single day, and remember to do 3 rounds, front, side, side, with 3 breaths each to loosen up your hips, loosen up your spine, and make those hips feel amazing. Hey, if you like this video, then I highly recommend you check this out next, because this is gonna help you even more. Oh, and if you want our team at WeShape to build you a customized home workout, well, just click this link right here and use our free workout builder tool. Also, remember to subscribe.